move on to Quatermass 2. But first I have to tell you something a bit strange which is happening. I've been getting some very weird comments. Now, most of them are very complimentary, so thank you for watching, and it's really helping to boost my channel. But I've also got a number of comments from people who are truly terrified of Quatermass. Why could that be? The Quatermass series was made nearly 70 years ago in black and white for the BBC. So what is it exactly that still terrifies some of the British public? That is what I'm exploring with this series of films. And unfortunately, I've also had a small number of critical comments. One of them from a strange guy who opened a new YouTube account just to criticize what I was doing. He claims that I don't know my facts. Well, that's really interesting because I don't. I check all my facts from other sources. I don't know Nigel Kneale, I don't know his family, I don't know anybody who knew him, but I can read, and my source of information comes from his publisher, the history of the BBC, and Wikipedia. So what is it that people have? Oh, Wallace, get off me. Wallace is eating my microphone. I'm sorry about that. So to carry on. Strangely, there's a group of people and a goat who don't want me to make this film about Quatermass. What are they hiding? So of course, it's a challenge for me now, and I like challenges. There seems to be a small gang of people who know something about Quatermass that they don't want revealed. And I think they know from my first film, because I hinted at a few things, that I'm on the right track. So today let's discuss Quatermass 2, where Nigel Kneale is ramping it up with his hidden agenda that he has for the Quatermass series. So Quatermass 2, why was it made? Well, it was made because of this. In September 1955, the BBC no longer had a monopoly. They had a rival, ITV, independent television, with adverts. So they needed to come up with another blockbuster. They didn't have a coronation. They'd done really well with the Quatermass experiment. So let's get Nigel Kneale to write another one and call it Quatermass 2. It's a dreadful title, but it's a really good film. And it's something I know a lot about. I've checked my facts. Yeah, I used to work at Ealing Film Studios, which was the head of BBC film department. And what's really interesting about Quatermass 2 is that most of it was shot on film. Well, let me explain. I'm sorry to be so rude, but I don't like people criticizing me for not knowing my facts, when in some cases, I mean, I make mistakes, but in this case, I know what I'm talking about. So Quatermass 2 was a much bigger production. It involved filming on 16mm film in black and white on location, and then doing the drama stuff in a studio and putting the two together live on the night of the broadcast. It was knitted together in a TV gallery who would cue the actors, they would do their scene, and just before they got to the end of the line, they would run telecine and they would cut to the outside world for the scenes that they filmed in the oil refinery and at the seaside, and very interestingly, in the town of Hemel Hempstead. So Nigel Kneale, as we've discussed before, is an expert at subplot, subtext, and he had a real axe to grind. He hated new towns. This is Hemel Hempstead, a post-war new town A number of them were built and they all looked terrible. Well, they were very much of their era, flat pack architecture using new concrete technology, but they weren't and still aren't really the prettiest places in the world, but they were just what Britain needed to rehouse people from the so-called slums of the East End of London into the fresh air of the home counties. A great viewer left a comment to say, in Hemel Hempstead today, there is a Quatermass road, which is hilarious as a tribute to Nigel Kneale's hatred of the new town plans. So some of it was filmed on location, Hemel Hempstead and other places to have exterior shots, and the rest was done in a studio, possibly Lime Grove. And it was all stitched together live on the night with a TV director in a gallery with all the switches between the cameras and the telly cine machine. I think I need to deep dive into some nerdy television tech because a few people have got this wrong. Okay, there's two television film machines which we still use in television, and one's called a telly cine and the other one's called a telly recorder. So telly cine predates the telerecorder, and that's a way of showing films on a projector, and the projector shines into a TV camera so you can transfer the film into a TV signal. And the other is the complete opposite. It is a TV set with a film camera looking at it with a roll of blank film, and as the TV has the image, the film camera films it, so you end up with a telly recording of what was on telly. And I'm telling you this because Nigel Kneale did something really interesting. You still have to remember that if you ever want to repeat something like Quatermass, you have to do it again. And so in October 1955, oh, I know my facts, which was the first transmission of Quatermass 2, Nigel Kneale didn't actually like some of the performances in the live studio element, but he had tele-recorded some of the rehearsals. So for Quatermass 2 Repeat, he edited in the film filmed off the TV of the rehearsal, replacing the bits that he didn't like that the actors were going to do live. So in Quatermass 2 Repeat, there was 3 elements which they had to play in real time. The live studio, the tele-recording of the rehearsal of the actors in the studio, and the telecine of the film that they shot, made by film department at Ealing Film Studios on location. Phew! I think we've nailed that one for facts. So moving on, what was Quatermass 2 about? Well, first of all, we're very lucky because Quatermass 2 exists. You can actually watch the whole of Quatermass 2's original BBC broadcast at this link below in the description. So let me précis the script, just the facts, so you don't have to watch the whole thing, and then we can get to the nub of what I'm really talking about on this YouTube channel, which is the deep secret meaning behind Nigel Kneale and what Quatermass is really about. Professor Quatermass is trying to perfect a dangerously unstable nuclear-powered rocket. After a disastrous test firing in Australia, his soon son-in-law, Captain John Dillon, draws the professor's attention to a strange hollow meteorite which interrupted an army radar training exercise. Bernard Quatermass and Dillon investigate the incident. This leads them to discover a vast government production plant which has some connection with the meteorites. But during their trip to the MOD facility, Dillon comes in contact with an unexploded meteorite which gives out a noxious gas, and Quatermass notices a small black bubble appearing on his face. Strange zombie-like security guards come out of the plant and take Dylan away. Quatermass, with contacts at the ministry, presses the issue with an old civil service acquaintance, and he learns that the plant is supposedly making a new synthetic food. But both men learn that this isn't true, and the true products of this plant is going to threaten life on Earth itself. So that's the plot. What's it really about, Professor? Well, it's about this place, Porton Down. It's about this place, Fylingdales, and other MOD secret chain link surrounded facilities that were cropping up all over Britain. This is post-war UK. Lots of research is going on in a Cold War into nuclear power. We're building plutonium bombs. We're trying weird radar. Yeah, we're probably making artificial food. And the British population kept on seeing these chain link fences, restricted area, keep out, Ministry of Defence, cropping up. I remember them all over Britain. And this is the subplot of Quatermass 2. And Hemel Hempstead. Yeah, no, really. There's a scene where they go to the weird plant and the workers live in this new town, which was filmed in Hemel Hempstead, no doubt. And it just looks terrible. And that's what Nigel Kneale was really exploring. The secret MOD restricted areas and the birth of modern architecture. Wonderful subplots to an exciting, well-made, high production film. And did it work? Oh yes! The BBC kicked ITV into touch. It was watched by millions of people. A very large market share. And Nigel Kneale was a hero, unleashing him to do almost any project he wanted because he had the magic potion, and only 3 years later he wrote the most important film ever to be shown on British television, and I think a film that contains deep, dark secrets about British society. Next episode, Quatermass and the pit revealed. The truth is out there.